What's up guys, this is Intellitech Studios here, and we're going to be doing a quick living room vacuuming video with the Shark Stratos. I just unboxed this right before doing this video, so we're going to give it a first run. For those wondering why my couches are missing, don't worry about it, but we'll get them back tomorrow. I just paid to get them back. So, this Stratos, just unboxed it. Let's see how well this works. So we'll recline it. I already installed the cartridge and everything, and it's currently on bare floor mode. I'm going to try it on the standard carpet mode. If it gets too hard to push, I'll put it on the thick carpet mode, since I do technically have thick carpets. So we're going to see how well this does. Wow, okay. So the first 2 seconds of it working, the brush roll did not start, and the LED headlights, which are really cool, actually flashed red, which looks cool, but not very good. So clearly the normal carpet mode is too demanding for this machine, so I'm going to put it on the high carpet mode and see how well it does. Okay, so just like the first generation Apex, the Duo Clean brush roller yanks the machine forward and really pulls itself forward. Also, that odor neutralizing cartridge so far is not working. I smell the off-gassing of this plastic, or I think that's what you would call it. It has a very strong chemical plastic smell, which I do not like. It smells really bad. I'm not sure why it smells that bad. But also, I applauded Shark in my Apex review for adding a clip to keep the hose out of the way. I'm happy to report that Shark took my positive feedback and completely discarded it. So this hose just flops all over the place. So, again, now that it's running, let's see how this cleans. I had to pull this out of the way so that way I didn't run over the cord. But why is this thing so loud? Like, seriously, I'm not trying to be negative. I really want to like this thing. But why is it so ear-piercingly loud? The Apexes were nice and quiet. Even the NV752 wasn't that loud. But this thing is just a screamer. Like, it screeches. The high-pitched squeal. I don't know if it's just things sound louder because I don't have couches. I'll vacuum with this later whenever I get my furniture back, because obviously that does function as some form of sound dampening. But this is horrible. Like, I don't know why it sounds so bad. My ears are ringing really badly. Yeah, that's not good. But we're gonna continue. I'm gonna vacuum the rest of my living room, and we're gonna see how it does. Okay. So real quick, I'm gonna try it again on the normal carpet mode and see if this brush will spin. So again, we got it on carpet, low pile. Let's see what this does. Okay. That time it did it. Okay, so that time it did work on the normal carpet mode. And I've got to say, I can already tell from my limited usage that this is a better vacuum than the Apex in terms of being a vacuum. The Apex was a horrible carpet cleaner. This thing actually seems to do okay. My carpets feel fluffed up. They actually feel like they were agitated pretty decently, which is not what I would expect with this PowerFins design. If I press the dust cup release button, we can see there is some stuff in there. Now, it looks like most of it's hair, but there's some fine dust in there, but not a lot. There's not a lot of fine dust. It's mostly hair. And I did vacuum the living room once, and the filter, nothing on it. So that's pretty good. Not much to complain about there. And there's, of course, a HEPA filter underneath here, which obviously I suspect is fine. Oh, that's held in with a clip. Okay. I'm not going to mess with that. That slides up and clicks on. Wiggles a bit for some reason, but Yeah, so here's my first impressions. Things that are worse than the Apex are the, well, the sound. It's way too loud. I don't know why it's so loud. One of the biggest things that I've heard so many people say about sharks, and I agree with some of my other sharks, is that they're nice and quiet. This is not. So, while Dyson has made their Ball Animal 3 much quieter than their Ball Animal 1 and 2, Shark has made their Stratos louder than the previous. Okay, I'm knocking things over. Than the previous Apex. So, that's not good. The good news, it's easier to push, it's easier to pull in the Apex. I can actually use it. I'm not too tired, despite the fact that on the Apex I could not do this room, even without going underneath furniture. So that's a big upgrade right there. Despite the fact that this is a pound heavier in the Apex, it's way easier to use. This is actually maneuverable. Like, this could actually be a vacuum. The Apexes were just way too big, way too bulky, way too cumbersome, and the way they were designed, they did not work. Now, I have a hunch that the reason why this is lighter is also the reason why it's louder. I would suspect that this probably has a much smaller, much whinier motor. That's my hypothesis. I haven't opened this up, but that's my educated guess. Which also means the motor is probably not going to last as long, because usually smaller motors are not as durable as bigger motors. Usually. There are exceptions, but my previous Shark died. That's the entire reason why I got this machine. Because Shark replaced my previous Navigator 0M liftaway under warranty because it was, well, I don't even know if it was warranty related, but because it was a safety hazard and it shocked me and it died after about 2 years from shooting a spark out of the power button. And I just sold one of my Shark rotators to somebody, and that person reported that the reason they were replacing it is because their old Shark shot a spark out of the power button. Funnily enough, I cannot make that up. She literally said the same thing. I did not release my video, did not talk about it. She obviously was not a viewer of the channel, but she coincidentally had the exact same issue that I just did. So I told her, I was like, well, if this one dies or if you still have your old one, call Shark, send it to them, and they should send you a new vacuum, because that's ridiculous. Shark initially tried to downgrade my liftaway 0M to a non-liftaway 0M, actually the same machine that I already reviewed but in a different color, and that machine that I reviewed, actually I returned because it had a bad motor out of the box. So had I taken Shark's initial offer and downgraded my machine, I would have got one that would have had the same issue anyways. So after complaining about it, which is a perfectly valid complaint that anyone who is on the phone, who is a customer, should complain about, like, why are you going to downgrade my machine after my machine just died and, well, is a safety hazard? Like, what are you guys going to do to make it right? I didn't use any of that kind of language, but I said, I was like, wait, this isn't a liftaway. Can I please get a liftaway model? Because I really liked that about my old one when it was working. That's exactly what I said. And they said, okay, we'll go on the website and pick one. So I picked this because I said I wanted a blue one. And they said, well, the Stratos is blue. So I gave them the model number and they sent it to me. I sent my old Shark back on, I think, Tuesday. And today's Friday. So pretty good turnaround as far as getting a replacement vacuum. In fact, my machine got to them at the same time that my replacement machine got to me, which is today, despite the fact that they sent this out a day after I sent in my replacement. So, or not my replacement, my old vacuum that was being replaced. So, credit to Shark, they did make the situation right, but it did take a few days because they initially struggled to get back to me. But they did give me a new machine. And so far, my thoughts on the Stratos are, it's way too loud. And honestly, I do otherwise really like this. I'll do more testing with it. And maybe that noise will be enough to dissuade me from recommending it, which so far I think will be the case. But other than that, there are a lot of good improvements here. The power fins actually seem to work pretty decently. The LED headlights are a nice touch. That odor-reducing cartridge doesn't seem to do jack shit. But, I should say it doesn't do much. Sorry, I forgot that a lot of kids do watch my videos. So don't repeat that word. But anyways, the controls are really nice. I love the blue and silver color scheme because blue and silver are two of my favorite colors. along with orange. So if these red parts were orange, maybe this would be the ultimate color scheme. But yeah, so far my thoughts. The cord length is good, the power's pretty good. The brush roller stalled out at first. That was a little sketchy. The vacuum is way too loud and way too whiny and uncomfortable to use as a result of the noise. But the weight is improved, the cleaning performance is improved, and the filtration at first glance seems to be much better in the Apex. So, yeah, I'll continue to use this machine more and more in preparation for the full review and a comparison between the Dyson Ball Animal 3 to see which one is going to be more worth your money if you're shopping for a flagship bagless vacuum in 2022. So anyways, this is Intellitech Studio signing out with my living room vacuuming video and first impressions of the Shark Stratos, and I'll see you guys. It looks like there's 2 hamsters in there. And anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you all have a good one. Peace.